The first one would have been in middle school, which back then we called junior high school. Had a very dear near friend. She was Caucasian, of course I'm black, and we were sharing PE one day, and she fell down. I reached down to help her up, and when I reached for her, she said, "Get your hands off me, nigger." I never heard that before like that. So that was really challenging. The next time would have been maybe about 18 years of age. I was traveling with some friends through Pensacola, Florida, and we stopped on the beach there to kind of relax and just enjoy the beach. And a police officer pulled up and started questioning our intent while we were there. And as a result, I tried to explain to him and say, "This is what's going on, sir." And he said, "Shut up, nigger. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other niggers." So that was shocking again. And those will always stay with me and kind of help formate my spirit today concerning verbiage like that. I would say both would have been shock. Because I never expected it. I didn't see it coming. I was raised in a household where we were taught to love each other and love people and to do right by people, and they'll do right by you if you would. Be kind and they'll be kind to you. So my father would say, it's just nice to be nice, but it's not nice to be nasty. So we had that in our home, our upbringing. We were a Christian family, if you would. So those virtues were in place then and still to this day. My great-grandfather, Julius July Perry, a resident of Ocoee City here in Florida, right near Orlando, and in 1920 on Election Day, a race riot broke out in the city of Ocoee that has been deemed as the worst race riot during an election in the history of our Americas. And the riot began at his home. My grandmother was there with him. She was 16 years of age, and their environment and their property and their residence was invaded by a mob of white men. And as a result, they responded to protect their interests, their safety, their property. And at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, he was wounded, ultimately taken out of the home and taken to Orlando and was lynched there after being taken out of the jail there by force. My grandmother did not remain in the home with her mom or her other siblings. He told them before that took place, "Get your mom and the kids out of the house." And she said she didn't really know how that was going to happen because the house was surrounded by a number of white men. All of them were shooting. And she said she remembered Dad said, "God will show you a way." And she said, "I prayed and I looked through the cat hole in the door," and that's a little opening in the country where you allow the animals to come in and out, sometimes cats, dogs, chicken, whatever. And she said, as I looked through it, she said, I saw a beam of light shining through the cornfield, and I knew that God was showing me a way out. And she said, as we proceeded to crawl out, her mother and some of her siblings on their bellies, she said, we could see the feet of the men that were surrounding the home, and they were still shooting. They never saw us, and as a result, they made it to safety. I believe that when you look at the nucleus of it, I believe it seems so big and so far expanding. However, if we really take a step back and see and be realistic about where we may live today as African Americans, the people that we have as friends, which are not just black people only. For me and for many others, we have all different cultures that we call friends. And so when you take a step back and look at all of that, I understand that, again, it's just lack of knowledge. We might not be able to change this generation somewhat or generations before totally, but I believe if we teach the future generations and to help kids to understand exactly where we are and what's taking place and how it does not have to be, I think we'll see greater change.